If I sound a little bit different in this one, I'm just coming down off of an illness. Yeah, couldn't have come at a better time for a game like this, right? And boy, what a game it was. Dream win, 83-77 over the Minnesota Lynx. Let's talk about it. Danielle Robinson is out with a knee injury from the last game, and Ileana Rupert is not with the team due to overseas commitments. Otherwise, gang's all here. Natalie Achona is the only Lynx player missing due to maternity leave. Ari McDonald is getting the start, as she certainly should be. Diamond Miller draws first blood with a free throw, nailing both of them. And then once more, off of the feed from Nafisa Collier, those two are going to be one hell of a duo for the Lynx, aren't they? Cheyenne Parker finally gets Atlanta on the board with 2 free throws, then a 2-pointer. Otherwise, Atlanta is getting chances, but they just keep missing. Meanwhile, Minnesota is showing no inhibitions at all whatsoever. It might help if the Dream could stop giving the Lynx so much space to work out there. I mean, look at this. They're just inviting Collier to take a free 2 points. I mean, sure, she missed the shot, but still, you can't give her that chance. Alicia Gray gets some chances of her own at the free throw line, closing the gap a little bit, but the Dream can't just rely solely on free throws. They got hardly any at all against Dallas Wings last time out. They cannot let that happen again. And as soon as I wrote that down, Haley Jones and Cheyenne Parker get back-to-back fouls. This is going to be a long game, isn't it? It's 30-19 after 1. Lynx are killing the Dream. 18 of the 30 Lynx points came in the paint. 15 of them came from off the bench. Atlanta is shooting 35% from the floor. Minnesota has 63%. Now, on to the second quarter. Look, if you're going to foul somebody, don't foul Aerial Powers, okay? She was 4th in the league in free throws last season for a reason, all right? And I don't care if she is a bench player. Don't leave Dorka Uhaj that wide open, okay? Somehow, Alicia Gray manages a layup for Atlanta's first points of that second quarter. Only took 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Mia Coffey brings down the deficit with Atlanta's first 3-pointer of the game. Alicia Gray falls down pretty hard and can't rejoin the party. Tanisha Wright has to call a timeout. Diamond Miller gets taken to the bench thanks to her 3rd foul of the game, and Alicia Gray comes back in during the subs. Good thing, because she scored a 3 right after. Cheyenne Parker to the free throw line now thanks to Collier's 3rd foul of the game. She gets both of her throws, and Nicolina Milic gets Minnesota's first 3 of the game, and then gets her own 3rd foul of the game. And maybe this is something Atlanta can use to their advantage. At this point, they need all the help that they can possibly get. Ryan Howard only has 2 points so far, and as if that's not bad enough, she got tangled up with a Lynx player, got jolted somehow. The replay wasn't entirely clear on it, but she went straight to the bench. The only positive is that she was able to walk there under her own power, and she didn't actually come off, so maybe she just needs some time. Lindsay Allen is left wide open, something the Dream need to stop happening, because she got a 3-pointer out of it, but at least Gray got a 3 right after. Finally, the Lynx are the ones who are making the mistakes in coverage. A.D. Durr starts heating up a little bit towards the end of the quarter, getting Atlanta to within 7 points. It's 40-47, Lynx leading at the half. So the Lynx scored less points in the second quarter. Atlanta actually outscored them, but they're still 35% shooting from the floor, and Minnesota dropped to 55%, but still. Well, at least at this point, Atlanta doesn't lead in turnovers or personal fouls, right? Speaking of fouls, to start the third quarter, Parker gets a defensive foul, but at least Ryan Howard is back. And then she gets tripped up and hits the floor. She just can't catch a break. But she did stay on the court, so she must be feeling all right. A lot of Dream players seem to be slipping and falling now. I mean, I admire their hustle, but they need to plan ahead and actually finish those. About halfway through the quarter, Naz Hillman scores the first points for the Dream, finally. And one of them was on a free throw, and they're still down by 16, so really, what's the point of even mentioning? But then, here's where the point comes in. The Dream go on a 9-0 run thanks largely to Naz Hillman. Again, she really starts heating up for them. At this point, I'm thinking it's too little too late, but it's still nice to see, right? Not to mention, the Dream are making the Lynx commit 2 straight shot clock violations, and Ari McDonald actually scored off of one of them. All game long, the Dream had been losing the coverage battle, getting double covered, and their open players just not able to get the ball. Well, now the Dream are finally on the other side. AD and Naz Hillman extend the run to 12-0. Kayla McBride puts an end to it with a 3. At the end of the quarter, it's 67-59. The Lynx are still in the lead, but the Dream are really showing signs of life. I'm just wondering why it took so long for that to actually start showing. Ari McDonald starts the fourth quarter with a great feed to Naz Hillman for 2 points. That's Naz Hillman's 11th point of the entire game. Ryan Howard steals the ball and goes coast to coast for a 2-pointer through 2 defenders. Atlanta is down only by 4 points. Then only 3 after a free throw by Ryan Howard. This team was down by 19 points at one point of the game, and now they're only down by 3. After the Lynx get back ahead, Howard misses a short-range shot, passes it off to Gray through a lot of traffic, and sinks it. And then another point off of another free throw. Minnesota has had an answer for everything Atlanta has done all game long, and now Atlanta finally has the answers. It's like they finally remembered how to communicate and coordinate. The Lynx are keeping the Dream from getting too far ahead, but Collier gets her 5th foul of the game, wrapping up Howard. Good thing she didn't get taken out of the game. I mean, she is responsible for most of the Lynx' success tonight. Unfortunately, the Dream's turnover problems are not quite finished. 4 minutes left, they commit another turnover when they needed that the least. But they get it right back and Howard scores a 3. The Dream trail only by 3 points now. Minnesota gets a 2, then Gray gets a 3, so now it's a 2-point game. Caleb McBride commits a shooting personal foul, but the Lynx decide to challenge. The call stands and Monique Billings ties the game on the subsequent free throws. Then Collier commits an offensive foul. That's her 6th foul, so now the Lynx top scorer of the game is out, and Minnesota doesn't have that challenge anymore. Ryan Howard intercepts a real long-range pass, looks like an Atlanta Falcon, and almost scores with it. The ball keeps getting tipped up, and it goes out of bounds. It's the Dream ball, and Coach Cheryl Reeve is pissed. Minute and 12 left, game is still tied. Howard's shot gets deflected. Jessica Shepard is about to take the lead then. Under pressure from Parker, she gets called for traveling right underneath the rim. Ari McDonald gives the Dream the lead for the first time in the entire game. Howard gets a loose ball personal foul. That's her 4th foul of the game, but Minnesota just cannot capitalize. Alicia Gray gets fouled. Both free throws, nailed them. 10-0 run. Dream lead by 5. 21 seconds left. The Lynx have no timeouts and no challenges. Ari gets fouled on the inbound, gets a point, and that's it. That's the game. Dream win 83-77. They were down by 19 at one stage of the game, but in the 4th quarter, they outscored the Lynx 24-10. Their star players coming through when it mattered the most, especially Ari McDonald and Naz Hillman. This team needed some clutch, and they delivered. I thought that this would be just another classic case of too little too late. The Dream are fantastic at finding their rhythm, far too late to be a threat, but this time they avoided that. I don't know if the Lynx just got frustrated and it made them prone to making mistakes. They did commit a lot of fouls late. I mean, so did the Dream, but I think the Lynx had him beat there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll take that win. The next game is Sunday. It's going to be another early day game that I won't be able to cover until quite a while after the final buzzer, but I will still get that recap up like I always do. And when I do, I hope I see you then.